If you ask me what's the biggest lie in trading, the advice that cost me the most money in my trading career, it's this: letting your winners run. And most traders, they obsess over entries. I was like that in the beginning. They think that if they are able to nail the entry perfectly, they're set to go, they're rich. But I can show you two traders taking the exact same entry. One would make a fortune and the other one would blow their account. The difference here is how you should be managing your trade once you're in the trade. And today I'm going to be breaking down my 4-step trade management system. It's not about guessing, it's about profit extraction. We're going to be talking about stop loss maneuver, when to eject a trade when it's not looking good, setting hard targets, and knowing when to break the rule to ride a bigger trend. Let's get right into it. Okay, so rule number 1 is a non-negotiable. I call this the iron shield. And that's a fancy way to name your stop loss. But here's the rule. You never ever want to move your stop loss. I don't care if you think it's a wick. I don't care if you think it's just a minor pullback. You never want to move your stop loss once you're already in a trade. And to illustrate the point, let's have a look at this chart example right here. So we have the dollar yen and we have a strong activation towards the downside. Now typically at UF trading, we specializes in trend pullback trading. So the first few things that we need in the market is a strong breach towards the downside, which we have here. And we're looking for a pullback into the breach to look for a resumption of this downtrend, right? So we have a move towards the downside right here and price is pulling back into the SNR. Now, typically what I would be doing is I'm gonna be tracking the higher highs and higher lows, pulling back into the SNR. And once it stops making higher highs and starts making, in this case, equal lows, that's where the entry will start to come in. An entry that pulls back into the area like so, which we get right here. So in this case, the stop loss would go above the recent high and the target would go to the recent low. So this is the thesis here. I know that we have a strong breach towards the downside showing that the market is activating its power towards the downside. I'm looking at this pullback into the support equals resistance area, and once we reach that area, things are slowing down and it's showing signs of rejection. And to add on to that, we did break a short-term uptrend structure with this trend line that you can see here, breaking down towards the downside of this trend line, pulling back, retesting the top end of this trend line and moving lower. So once that's done, entry will go like this. And the thesis here is this short-term uptrend has turned around and it's now going to follow the bigger flow moving towards the downside, which means price needs to go down. And as soon as we start making higher highs again, that's telling me this trade idea is wrong and I should be out of this trade. And that's what the stop loss is here for. And you need to understand one key important rule. Not all trades are going to be winning trades. This is just us making a hypothesis in the market, and our analysis here is telling us the trade is gonna go down. If it fails to follow the thesis, we wanna be out of the trade. We do not wanna be hanging on. So if we play this forward, we do see price hanging around sideways and slowly starting to make new lower lows, and boom, there we go, reaching target. So this right here would be a perfect setup. Now, if we apply the same rule to a similar market that we have here on the dollar Swiss franc 15-minute time frame, we have again an activation towards the upper side. We have a pullback coming in into the support equals resistance area. And in this case, I am watching the short-term downtrend slowly shifting into an uptrend. So we have the lower lows and lower highs forming, and slowly the lower highs are becoming higher highs. At this stage, I'm getting interested because I'm also looking at this trend line and I'm seeing that we're not following the downtrend anymore on this lower time frame. So if we play this forward just a little bit more, we do see price going up towards the upper side and now pulling back just into this support is resistance area, this minor level that's gonna hold the price to hopefully push price towards the upper side. So again, a very similar setup to the dollar yen setup that we just saw, and the entry will look something like this. With your entry right around here, stop loss will go below the level and then targeting the recent high right around here. So the thesis here is fairly simple. We are expecting things to go into a higher high and higher low sequence following this massive uptrend. And if the trade doesn't do that, we want to be out of this trade. If we play this forward, let's see if we start to make actual higher highs and higher lows. We do see that we try to push price higher, and very soon things are starting to look like it's making lower highs. So let me just drag this to the right, and if we play this forward, this is typically what most traders do. They see a red bar coming down like this, and they're starting to get antsy. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna move their stop loss a lot lower. When someone does that in the market, they're essentially increasing the risk on that trade, because initially, let's say the stop loss was at 2% at this price right around here. If you were to increase your stop loss like so, you're essentially increasing the damage you're gonna get from your account if the trade turned out to be a full stop out. So what could have been a 2% risk at this area might just become a 3% risk at this area. And that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that when you have your stop loss in place, it's always consistent. So if we move this back to where it was, right around here, and this trade actually will take you out at just 2%. Imagine if you move your stop loss here, you will be out at 3%. And if that's not part of your rule to be risking just 2% for every single trade, you're just gambling in the market. And if we play this forward, we will see that, price continue to move lower and lower and lower. And if traders were to constantly moving their stop loss, like so, and so, and so, you're essentially taking on a lot of risk for just one single trade.
Wait, so this is something most traders miss. If you're watching this, you're probably trying to fix your trading, but you don't actually know which part of your trading is broken. So I've put together a free worksheet called the 6-step trading hack. And within that worksheet contains the diagnostic that I use for my paying students to figure out what's wrong with their trading and help them get back on track ASAP. Click the link below, grab it, and use it right after watching this video. It'll make everything click that much faster. Alright, so let's keep going.
You need to remember, having losing trade is absolutely fine. There's 3 things that's always guaranteed in life. I've said this multiple times, and if you know what they were, comment in the comment section below. So remember, if price crosses your stop loss, your thesis is broken. Accept it. Moving your stop loss isn't trading. It's gambling with hope. And we don't trade on hope here. Rule number 2, the sniper target. So now let's talk about what I mentioned earlier. The thing that cost me the most in my trading. Letting winners run. It looks good on Instagram, but in real life, it's a psychological torture. You need to understand that market moves in waves. It extends and it pulls back. If you don't take your profit when the market is extending, the market is easily going to take your profit back when it's pulling back. And here's a perfect example of that. So in this case, we have the dollar Swiss pair, we have a strong activation towards the upside and we breach these series of highs on the left. Market is then pulling back into that level and then it's forming miniature lower lows and lower highs sequence. Again, you should understand by now what I'm trying to do here. I'm waiting for the miniature downtrend to slowly shift, turning around at the support equals resistance area, turning into an uptrend. And if we really track the highs along the ways here, we can see the highs slowly making lower highs in this area here, but then it stopped making lower highs and in this case started to make the first higher high. And the lows also started to make higher lows. So in this case, I'm getting very, very interested as soon as I see some power like this coming into the upside. That's easily a signal to get in on the trade. So the trade setup was set up like this. Entry would go here, stop loss would be at the recent low, and then we will take this to the recent high. Now the rule here is simple. When the trade reaches your target, you want to be out of the trade because you want to take advantage when the market is expanding. And if we really play forward here, we do see market going sideways a little bit and then slowly moving towards target. Right around here, we reach target. Now I want to paint a scenario for you. Our exit was right here, and if we really did let the winners run, this is where things are going to go. Again, failed to make higher highs, and if we really track forward, market continues to go sideways and coming back to break even, and then finally to your stop loss. Now, just imagine the torture that you have to go through at each stage along the way. You were once at this high here making full profit. Price pulls back, and this move right here decreases your profit by half, gets your hopes high up again, reaching the recent high, thinking that the trade might turn into a full-blown uptrend. Again, breaking your heart once more time, reducing all the profits you made into half, and then finally going sideways and then dropping, crashing down, like all of your hopes and dreams. So remember, the rule is simple. Always set a target. When price hits target, we get paid. We're in the business of extraction, not holding on to position for bragging rights. So rule number 3 is saving your account from death by 1,000 cuts. Most beginner traders, they have this bad habit of setting their stop loss, setting their targets in place, and then they just sit back and wait to see what's gonna happen. It's either gonna hit their target or move to stop loss. And all they're doing is sitting back and waiting with their fingers crossed. That is lazy trading. You do not want to do that. Sometimes when you're in a trade and you're in drawdown, the market hasn't really moved to your hard stop yet, but the story of your setup has changed and you need to do something about it. And for that, we'll have a look at this chart example right here. We have a strong move towards the upper side and we have this strong support equals resistance holding the markets right there. Again, the process is very, very similar. All I'm doing here is waiting for price to pull back into the level and waiting to see a turnaround from this short-term downtrend. Now I'm seeing that price is slowly reaching this area here. We're still forming lower lows and lower high sequences. At this point here, we're forming the next lower low, and let's track forward and see what happens. Now, this is the first higher highs that's forming in the market, this high compared to this high. And at this stage, I'm getting very, very interested. A typical entry will look something like this on a pullback, and that's where you will be getting in, right around there, with your stop loss below, taking this up to the recent high. Now, like I was talking about earlier, our thesis here is the short-term downtrend has shifted and we're now transitioning into a short-term uptrend, which goes hand in hand with the higher time frame uptrend that's from this far left. And if we track forward here, we see price going sideways, testing that area, finally see some rejection, and then at this stage, showing power. Now, you want to be very, very careful here because again, we want to see strong continuation uptrend coming into the market. But what we do see here is a strong push towards the upper side, followed by a very quick move back down, almost undoing the entire move. Now, if we track forward and we do not see buyers taking back control, we should be out of this trade. And at this stage, we see we are constantly coming back. And here is a very important educational piece because I want to draw your attention to areas like this. This zone right here, once we have broken out with this huge green bar on a pullback, that's the area where a lot of buyers will step in on the buys. Now, what happened to the buyers that bought all around areas like this? They're going to be trapped, right? And if they're trapped, they're likely not going to hold on to their buys. So if that's the case, if price comes up, finds a reaction of this zone right here, and if you see a move coming back towards the downside, that's very much telling you this uptrend is not sustaining and you want to be out of this trade because there's a higher likelihood that price is going to reach your stop loss than reaching your target. So if we really have a look at the next few candlesticks, we see price going up, testing that area, holding grounds, still holding grounds, and then closing right here. At this particular stage, what that's essentially doing is, instead of taking a full 1 hour stop out from this trade, you're just taking a 0.7 hour stop out, in this case, perhaps a 0.65 hour stop loss. That's gonna help you in the long run because it's much easier to make back 0.65 hour than it is to make back a full 1 hour loss. If you do this well, you're gonna be able to compound your account very, very quickly because your winners are gonna be outsizing your losers by just that much more. And that is how you stay in the game for the long run. So rule number 1, 2, and 3, it's about protecting your account. This next rule, rule number 4, is about how you're gonna be growing your account fast, adding to winners. But this is a huge but, you can only achieve this rule properly if you understand the higher time frame bias. And what I mean by the higher time frame bias is something like this. Now what we're looking at here is the New Zealand USD on the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame we are in a downtrend and in a channeling form, right? Showing weakness in the market. What's happening here is we're pulling back to the top end of this channel right around here and pulling back into this supply area on the left. And at this area here, you're going to be expecting weakness in the market. So having that said, if you drop down to the lower time frame, the 1 hour time frame in this case, we are able to see that things are starting to turn around. We have strong activation towards the downside, and if we really track forward, we will be able to see a pullback coming into the markets right around here. At this stage, if you apply the multi-time frame analysis, what you can do is drop down one more time frame lower just to see where the turnaround phase is happening. Now again, the activation phase started from this zone right here, reacting to our trend line and the supply area, forming a huge and strong activation towards the downside. And then we are starting our pullback, forming higher highs and higher lows. Once again, the rule here is simple. All you need to do is make sure the highs start forming higher highs, the lows start forming higher lows. And in this case, we are forming our first lower low right around here. And if we do see this next high starting to form a lower high, that's where we want to be getting in on. Now we see we are trying to move up here, but unable to make any more higher highs. What I'm waiting for here is a breach towards the downside, confirming the downtrend, and I'm gonna start looking for an entry. At this stage, we do have a breach towards the downside right around here and a pullback into this small, tiny support equals resistance area. Now, this entry would be able to set up like so, with your entry right around there, stop loss above, taking this trade to the recent low. Now, remember what I was saying earlier, because we are going hand in hand with a higher time frame bias, we know that this could be a strong downtrend forming, reaching the bottom end of this channel. What you can do on a lower time frame is extending your target, but making sure that you extract profit as price reaches the recent low. So in this case, the main target for this move would be all the way at the bottom, right around here. What you want to do in situations like this is get in as price reaches your lower time frame exit, remove 50% stop loss to break even, and then wait for the next setup and then join the sell again. And if I play this forward, you will be able to see price going down very quickly to target. You want to remove 50% of your profit, stop loss back to break even, so you have a safe trade on your hands, and then wait for the next setup. And if we go back up to the 60 and wait for the next setup, we would see the next setup actually happens right after that at this zone right here. Now again, if we drop down to the 15, we will be looking at this miniature uptrend that's coming in, and I want to see this uptrend turning into a downtrend. Right around here, we see we breach this minor level right there after reacting off this huge level. So we have two levels supporting the sell, the first one at the top, the second one at the bottom right here. Now if we do get a pullback, that's where you want to be looking for your next sell. Your entry will look something like this, stop loss will be above. So essentially what you're going to be doing here is the 50% profit that you have removed from the first trade, you're going to be adding that back into this second trade. So you're not going to be risking more than what you initially set out for. You're just using what you have made and reinvest that into the next move. Now, we'll be doing the same thing. We pull back for a test, price holds on for a little bit, comes up. Do we need to exit earlier here? Price resumes, still making lower lows. So we're still good here, and then boom, reaching the next target. And again, if we really track forward here, we will be able to see that price actually did one more test into the area right around there before moving to the main target, which means there would be another entry on the lower time frame before hitting the higher time frame target. And that means another trade would potentially be setting up at areas like this with your stop loss above, going down to this low right here. And this one higher time frame setup alone could easily multiply your profits by 3-folds, 5-folds in just one go. And you see that we're not just adding blindly. We're adding because the big boys are helping us push the markets to the direction we want to. And that's the true meaning of letting your winners run. If you try to use rule number 4 without understanding the bigger picture, you're gonna be burning your account very, very quickly. And for that, I really recommend you watching this video right here to really understand the concept of multi-time frame analysis. In there, I break down exactly how you need to analyze the higher time frame to make sure that you're always swimming with the bigger players and not swimming against them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video has helped. Make sure to drop us a like, share, and subscribe. And with that said, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye for now.